I have one more question before I let you go, and I know it's getting late, probably for both of us. If you had to choose one small E-Moto, only one, you can make whatever changes you want, but it has to be the
Ooh,
small size. What
yeah.
would you pick in 2026 today?
Holy crap, what a question. Looking at the parts coming in 2026, aftermarket wise, um, I think you'd be kind of dumb not to choose one of the E-Ride Pro lineups. And I would probably go with the 3.0, purely based off of I can do all the wheels that I want, I can do all the suspension that I want. Um, Now, I should say, as of right now, there are, tons of suspension options.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, I wouldn't have picked that bike.
Right,
There
right.
wasn't. Wheel options are here. So the full kind of spectrum of what you need, controllers, batteries, motors, it's all there. And it's on a decently robust chassis for what it is. But I'm gonna hit you. I was gonna say I'm gonna hit you with the curveball, but no, I'm going back to the E-Ride Pro. I'm gonna choose the E-Ride Pro 3.0 as the bike that I would go with because of the aftermarket support, and that kind of sweet spot. I might put a controller on it just
That's
to
my
make
next
it.
question. Ready? I'm just going to go ahead and lob it. Softball.
Yeah,
Build it. Tell me what you're going to put on it.
I'm gonna do suspension. First things first. Every bike I touch, suspension wheels. That's
Where are
like,
you going? What suspension are you putting on? This is a very interesting question for me because I have an opinion on this, and I'd like to get your take.
yeah. I do not want to push this bike. Let me caveat the suspension conversation with where I'm trying to end up power wise.
Okay.
I don't want to push this bike outside of 20 kilowatts. That to me is not where the small size category belongs. I think anything beyond that, you should probably move up to a mid-size bike, or further. So keeping the bike under 20 kilowatts. I would probably do, um, probably the Tech rear shock.
Boy, God,
I think I'm going to go with that.
I love it.
I do like that shock a lot. I love the EXT Arma. I've ridden that shock since, honestly, day one. I do love it. It's a great shock. But like I kind of said, the sweet spot of E-Moto is kind of getting to that 15 to 20 kilowatt zone. I think the Tech is ready to perform on that. For the front fork, not going to go with Tech. I'm not going to go with EXT Faro. I'll probably revert to Cirrus, but I think the general person sees it and they see the weight figures and they're like, man, this thing it's not going to feel like my small size E-Moto does. But dude, that fork enables you to play. It
Mm-hmm.
makes it to where you have the confidence. And like, just to throw things into perspective, like the entire front half of your bike is reliant on that structure, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of force that has to dissipate. And not only that, but when this bike is outdated, that fork is going to be around. Like that
Which
thing
is
is going to get.
crazy.
They designed it in a way to just bolt it straight onto tons of different platforms. So like that is a very valuable bang for buck thing. I do want to kind of caveat a little bit, like the a year ago, I would have chose something along the lines of the E-Ride Pro 2.0, a 12 kilowatt bike. And I really love riding a bike that you kind of milk it for everything it's got. Like
That's why I love the 2.0, man, because like it's not too much, but you have to give it everything that bike has to like make it perform. Like you got to push it to its limits. You outride the bike on a
totally,
2.0
totally.
where
And
like,
it feels like go-kart racing in a way,
yeah, yeah.
Like the Zero XB was the recent one that kind of gave me that feeling again. I actually really enjoyed riding it a lot. And bikes of that kind of caliber that are super, like genuinely super fun bikes to ride. The EXT Faro has blown me away in terms of performance. Like I absolutely love that. And if it's a small lightweight E-Moto like a Sur-Ron Lightbee or kind of anywhere from that 6 to 12 kilowatt figure and it's about 110, 130 pounds, I would go EXT all day.
I feel the same.
Getting above that though into E-Ride 3.0 and beyond status, the Cirrus stuff is sick, and Tech has made a really robust shock. I think that's a super good combo right now for sure.
I think people misunderstand how much fun you can have from 6 to 12 kilowatts.
Oh, dude.
Like
That's why it
it's
was
like
really
an
tough
it's
to
hard for
choose.
people to like understand that, like, dude, you're gonna I'm gonna go out on a limb. I have the most fun on the 3.0. My SR is really fun too. 2.0, you can ride it until like you're just right on the edge of that bike's ability, and like it feels fun. It's so much fun. And I just don't think people understand that, like, sure, you can have 25 kilowatts or 30 kilowatts in this small frame piss missile, but I'm not sure that that's not the most fun.
That's not where it's joyful. Like, I've taken the Suron chassis to 35 kilowatts, and don't get me wrong, it's a cool bike. It is a cool bike. Like, to go and hit, I'm not joking, I fit a 90-foot double on a Suron Light Beat chassis.
No,
It's crazy. Like, it's stupid
that's
if I'm
just
being totally,
dumb, dude.
it is. But and I know, like, Charged Cycle Works is in full agreement with this as well. Like, we pushed those limits to see kind of where things develop, and like um once you kind of find those zones, you almost have to pull back a little bit. And I'm kind of hoping the entire industry as a whole does that. I like when a bike has the overhead, like a Stark Varg. You're never gonna ride it at 80 horsepower unless you're flying up a sand mountain. But it has the overhead, right? Like, that's super important. If I'm riding a bike and I'm milking it for everything that it's got at all times, you're really pushing the limits of what that is capable of from a manufacturing standpoint. So I think that's a reason why I like the bike, like the Ventus One in particular, is I have really never ridden that thing at its full potential power wise. I've tried it and it's crazy. It pulls like a freaking
It just
freight
never
train, but
stops. It just feels like it's never going to
yeah.
stop. Like, when's it
Oh,
going to
dude.
stop?
I know.
I'm done. When is it going to stop?
Yeah, but having that overhead is cool. So I don't know. Every single chassis, and the reason it took me so long to like think about this is because every bike is so unique in its own way and super fun. Like, you're not really going to be that disappointed on any bike that you get, because especially not a bike that has an aftermarket support behind it, because you can do what you want with it, and that's super cool. I think the reason that like I chose to race with Benell is because I don't have to tinker with any of that. I know the bike's going to perform in a race environment, and it's going to be super fun outside of that environment too, because its capabilities are there. But going back to that small size market, like, that is a truly fun market to ride in. Like, you want to get the ultimate play bike, dude. Those things are so fun. And that's
I
why I'm in
think,
it.
yeah, I mean, I just think that's what's like important for people to remember and to know. Like, you don't need 28 kilowatts to have a good time. And I get it, like, if you only get one bike and you're spending $4,000, why not spend six, or whatever the mental gymnastics you have to do to get to that point. But I think the point is, like, the bikes are super capable at their power level, and that's like, for the EXT, for me, I would caution people with EXT if they're not familiar with suspension, because like you have like that lower ramp chamber, and you got that upper chamber, and you're
Tons of
messing with,
adjustment.
you're
Yeah,
constantly you're like pumping it up and you're testing it, and then you're taking it back down, and like for the common person, I think air
it's a
forks, and
lot.
it's a
Yeah,
lot. It's a lot to learn, and like you really have to dedicate yourself to it. And a lot of people just want to set it and forget it, man. And I get that. I
super
think
common.
Cirrus is like a really great option for that if you have the extra bucks. I think Tech is another really great option for that if you have. And then there's other options that are out there that are also good, and they're fine, and they're going to perform. And it really just depends on how hard you're pushing the bike. But it's cool because I think I agree with you on everything, man. Like, the 3.0 is great. Those parts that you picked are good. What would you do for controller?